CX Innovators podcast produced by Networld Media Group. I'm Judy Model, editor of retailcustomerexperience.com, and our guest today is Nick, Nick, I messed it up. It's Nick.
No worries.
All right, introduce yourself, Nick.
Okay, my name is Nickitas,
Peter.
and I am the general manager of local independent grocery at Instacart.
Okay, and everyone knows Instacart, grocery delivery service facilitating online shopping, delivery, pickup for more than 85,000 stores across North America. But what many people may not know yet is that Instacart is truly a grocery tech company. They're offering retailers a suite of enterprise grade tech products and services, and they're all about powering e commerce experiences, fulfilling orders, digitizing brick and mortar stores, and providing advertising services. And one of these is the Caper Cart. And I'm so excited about this because I haven't seen it in person yet. And I have to disclose for journalism ethics that I am a huge, huge Instacart user. Um, so this Caper Cart is making its way around the country, and one of the latest deployments has been with Geisler supermarkets in Connecticut and Massachusetts. They are, in fact, the first grocer to replace a majority of that traditional shopping cart with a Caper Cart. So I'm so excited, Nick, because I want to hear all about this, and I'm hoping it arrives in South Carolina very soon. So my first question, let's talk a little bit about the background on the Caper Cart, how it came to be, the development, what's been its history to this point.
Sure. Well, first off, Judy, thank you so much for having me on the podcast. It's great to be here and share our enthusiasm and passion about local independent grocery and how our company is working to support these main street retailers that are a part of communities across the U.S. that are feeding and serving these people. And so the chance for us to be able to take some of the best technology in the business and bring it to these main street operators so they can support their towns is really a privilege. Caper is one of those magical technologies that comes along and transforms the way we shop. If you think about the grocery store, a lot of it has changed over the past several decades, but one thing has remained consistent, and that's the shopping cart. It really hasn't changed for many, many years until now. So Caper's journey began in 2016 when its co-founders set out to simplify the checkout process. They did like a ton of market research. All the things that you see when those startup mantras, when the founders are out there talking to customers, iterating. They engaged with over 150 grocers across New York. They gained a lot of insights doing that customer development work. That's really how these products get built. You spend a lot of time talking to retailers and customers. And what they did was they gained a lot of insights into the shopping experience and how to make it even better. When you think about shopping today, right, you've got typically two ways you do it. You either take the groceries, you put them in the basket, you bring them to the front of the store, and they check you out, right? But when you do that, they go in the basket, on the lane, back in the basket in the car. And really, it's the same thing, too, when you do self-checkout, right? You go through that self-checkout lane, you've got to fill up your basket, put it all through self-checkout, and then put it back in the basket and take it out to your car. What they thought about is, could you make a mobile self-checkout on wheels? Could you basically, as you're putting items in the basket, be checking out at the same time, building up your order total, and then pay on that cart so you could just take the cart and go and unload it in your car? They joined in 2017 a startup accelerator program called Y Combinator. Y Combinator is one of the top programs in the U.S. for incubating new ideas. They developed their first prototype. The next 5 years, again, dedicated to refining and testing the cart, making it better. It's actually very challenging to make a cart that has a screen and sensors and a weighted scale so you can measure produce. And they did a tremendous amount of engineering work. And then eventually by 2021, they launched their first cart. They gained traction, and it was being adopted by major grocers like Kroger. So later that year, Caper got acquired by Instacart. And over the past, since 2021, we have been expanding and developing the product inside the company. And I'm super excited because today we have Caper deployed across the U.S. and major metros and suburban markets. We're working with a ton of different retailers, not just the big guys, but local grocers like Bristol Farms, Wakefern, Geisler's, Schnucks, ShopRite, Sobeys. And also last year, we launched with Aldi in Europe, as well as a number of grocery stores in the Intermountain West. So this is continuing to grow, and we couldn't be prouder about the product and the incredible reception we've had from customers across the U.S.
So, for the grocery consumer, and someone like me who has been using a shopping cart for decades and decades, what is it giving me in the shopping experience?
Okay. Well, the biggest thing is access to coupons,
Okay.
right? Like when you go in a store, you don't necessarily know which coupons are available. I mean, some people have all the coupons clipped,
Right.
but sometimes you don't have time to do that. And what's nice about Caper is from like a budgeting and affordability standpoint, you see your running total as you're adding items into the basket and you're seeing what digital coupons are available for those items. So it's saving you money. The other thing about it is it's fun. I mean, it's really fun the way that we've gamified the experience. Like as you add items to the basket, if you add a certain number of items or a certain basket amount, you're going to get a discount. Or it can tell you, it gamifies your shopping experience around the store. So I think it's a more fun way to shop, and other customers have agreed. It's personalized. We've had personalized experiences no matter where we shop. You go on Amazon, you go on Netflix, you see a personalized version of the online store. But the grocery experience has for a long time been one size fits
Right.
all. You come in the store, everybody gets the same experience. But when you're on the Caper Cart, it's really personalized for your loyalty number, for your experience, for your Instacart account. All these things can be linked together, so you're getting your shopping list on the cart, and it really feels like it's enhanced it. So there's a lot of things like that between the affordability, the access to those digital coupons, and then finally it acts as a mobile self checkout because as soon as you're done with your order, you just pay on the cart and you can walk out the store.
Right. I mean, because you know what, that the checkout, and I'm not dissing people who work in the checkout process, but that's pretty much the worst part of the experience because you're waiting, and then you have to bag or help bag, and it's kind of like the letdown after the shopping fun. And
Yeah,
it used to, I was one of these young mothers with a packet of coupons that I clipped every week and organized. I don't know if you've ever seen them because you're so young,
yeah.
but you're organized by department. And I would spend 2 hours shopping every week and trying to get that coupon. And the fact is that when you got up to the checkout and you handed in your bunch of coupons, some were expired or I didn't have the exact same product, and the frustration level was high. Uh,
Judy, I'm going to hire you for the Caper sales team.
but I lived long enough to see what a difference the shopping experience was in the 80s and 90s and what it is today. So when I use a cart, I plug in what my account information or
Yeah, so when you grab the cart, you can put in your loyalty
okay,
number. So now you're going to get any personalized offers for you. You can also download your shopping list from your phone to the cart, so you can see your list on the cart. And then when you're going down the aisles, you can see offers or coupons or things that are personalized to you. As an example, if you put, let's say, cough drops and Tylenol in the cart, we could show an ad for a soup brand, right? If you're going down the cereal aisle, we could show you a promotion for a type of cereal that has a discount. Or just based on items you've put in your basket, we can show you the available discount. So now imagine you're that young mom again. Instead of having to spend all that time clipping and organizing your coupons and going through all that friction at the lane, you're actually, as you're shopping, all those discounts are being applied. You're seeing how much your total is, so you're staying on budget, and you can see how much you're saving when you're shopping. So it's really a better version of the shopping cart in every single way. And retailers love it because they have larger baskets,
right.
right? Customers end up buying more products still within their budget because they're saving, right?
Right.
Retention is higher, and they're able to attract advertising and digital coupons that they wouldn't be able to do otherwise.
Well, and the loyalty factor, between that retailer and the grocer and the consumer. I mean, if that's my choice to go to Geisler's and use that cart or go to my local other food supermarket that doesn't have the cart, I'm pretty sure I'm going over to Geisler's, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So what we've actually heard that from people that go to Geisler's and to Wakefern and ShopRite. we hear that the customers say, I prefer to shop at these stores versus the local competitor because they have these
Right.
carts. So they act as like, not only are they improving the guest experience, they're retaining these customers for these stores that they otherwise wouldn't have.
And a lot of people shop together, families shop together. So that whole gamification, the whole, hey, look, we just saved 50 cents on that. We can get two of them. It becomes an experience for the family who shops together. So you mentioned the, kind of briefly, the ROI for the retailer or the grocery brand, and a lot of times people will raise their hands. They'll say, "Oh, this is getting rid of important staff," and actually, it's not. It,
No, I think what's happening, what we're seeing is that the grocers want to provide the best guest
right,
experience they can for their customers. And so what they really want to do is reallocate labor
right,
to parts of the
exactly,
store where they can make a bigger impact. Like for instance, the deli or the produce
right,
department. These are or the bakery. These are areas that are like highly experiential and important to the customer experience. But if you got to put people in the front end of the store for the
right.
lane, you're taking away from somewhere else. And so this is allowing to be able to take some pressure off the front end. It's not like these jobs are going away. They're simply being reallocated to other parts of the store.
Exactly. And again, somebody who can look back, way, way back, there was often somebody in the aisle, that you could ask a
Mm-hmm.
question to. And over decades and decades, that has pulled back because of labor costs and oftentimes it's hard to find someone unless they're at the checkout, to ask a question. So the ability to put resources back in the aisles and engage with customers, and especially with a new innovation, I'm sure the employees, at the supermarkets with the carts, are trained and know how to use the cart, right?
That's right. That's right. And basically, like a store employee has a tablet that they can see all the different carts that are going around the store. And if a
Wow.
customer has an issue, they can go and find that card and solve it. It's just really an awesome experience that's crafted. And again, the stores love it because it increases customer
Right.
loyalty. The basket sizes are larger. They're attracting advertising and digital coupons that they couldn't before. And then they've got that labor that they can reposition, as you mentioned, to other parts of the store to improve the experience. So it's just a win-win-win for everybody
Yeah, it's
involved.
definitely a win on the self checkout part because, you know, as much as that is advanced, it's still not perfect. And when you go into retail and you see people, I was just in Lowe's, right? And nobody was using self checkout, and I was like, all right, I'll use self checkout. I rarely get through without needing help, and I know
Yeah,
about this stuff. I write about it, um, but they're all different. There's always a different process.
yeah.
And I had to be helped, so I will admit that. But to avoid that, to have it in the cart and just walk out the store is amazing. So
Yeah, I think it just saves people
and
time. It saves people time. Like even when I use self checkout in the grocery store, the pain of like having to take everything out of the basket, ring it up myself, and then put everything back in the basket. Why do I have to do that process and add those extra steps when I could just be checking out as I'm going through the store using a caper cart?
right,
So I think it's definitely created a better experience. The other thing you got to remember, Judy, is that Instacart partners with over 5,500 brands across the country to do advertising on the Instacart marketplace and the other software solutions that we offer. So we've got tons of brands that are working with us. These brands, what they really want to do is be able to influence customer behavior in the aisle at the moment of sale.
that's right,
Like if I can give Judy a special offer or coupon when she's in the aisle, the cereal aisle, the chip aisle, the juice aisle, and then she sees that coupon and buys, that's very valuable to a brand. And it's valuable to you as a customer because you're getting discounts that you wouldn't get anywhere
I
else.
wouldn't even know.
And and the grocer loves it because now they're attracting advertising revenue into the store in a way that they haven't really been able to do for decades. It's been a long time since some of these brands have been able to invest in, especially in the local independent space. So, I see the Caper Cart not just as providing all this convenience to the customer and enhancing the experience, but it's attracting advertising revenue to the retailers that they haven't been able to see before. It's attracting lower costs to the consumer that they haven't been able to experience before, and it's putting the brand in the driver's seat to be able to actually drive sales with customers. So there's so many interesting things, and it's I don't think until now we've been able to see a cart where we can bring all these technologies together, from sensors to cameras to tablets to mobile point of sale. You have to have the Wi-Fi in the store. All
Right.
those things that come together to create this really delightful experience.
And it's so funny because I don't know if you'll remember this, but one way brands used to alert a shopper about a new item or a coupon is they had um, standalone stands in the aisle, and as you walk by,
Yeah.
the motion detector would spit out a coupon at you. And back then, that was evolutionary, right? Um,
Well, and part of the reason why it worked is because people weren't walking around with their phones in their
right.
hand,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes.
Like that was part of it, is that like you'd be walking like, oh, this coupon, let me take that, I got that. But now everybody has their phones out, their headphones on, they're on a mission.
Right.
And so those types of advertising in store are not working as well as they used to. And so this is a way, when they're using the cart and they're checking their list and they're adding items, they're immediately seeing those coupons. So I love the example you just provided, because this is like the new digital version of
Oh,
that.
yeah. It's a whole new world, in the shopping
Totally.
aisle. So, based on the consumer feedback you've been getting, are there, improvements or enhancements or things you're thinking, okay, let's readjust our approach on that? Is that, happening or
Yeah, yeah. So I would say, since rolling out Caper Carts, people have been extremely excited. I think what surprised us is that people from all ages use these carts. I think maybe your intuition would be like, oh, these are just going to be younger millennials, but no, we see people of all ages, from the elderly to young families and everyone in between, using these carts and enjoying it. Kids pull their parents over to start using Caper. They like to scan all the items
right,
themselves. It's almost like it's a video game that they're on
right,
wheels that they're bringing around the store. I would say that the main feedback that we've heard is that, uh, one is that 40% would use carts
right.
if it enables a faster checkout process.
Okay,
So one of the key differentiators for us is, like, we have to make sure that when a customer comes in the store, they know that this card is going to be a faster experience for them, because that's a key driver of use.
right,
83% of customers are receptive to using these, particularly if they can save them money. So when you're like, when the feedback really is, does it save me money? Does it save me time? If I believe that, I'm going to try it. I'm going to use it. I'm going to love it.
right,
Uh, we have a lot of viral videos with Caper Carts. You can imagine, like, people come in the store, they're like, what is this? They start taking pictures, or they put it on their social media.
right,
So that surprised us too, because, like, how often are people, doing influencer videos in their grocery store? That's not necessarily something we think of.
right,
But that's been a kind of a delight and a surprise. I think that the other one is just, like, we hear that people are scheduling date nights to the grocery store to see and use the
right,
carts. So it really has become like a little bit of an event
right,
to go shopping and use one of the carts. That's been fun. I think another thing is just, like, continuing to make the carts more and more family friendly.
right,
Kids, as I mentioned, kids love the carts. We continue to find different ways to make it more kid friendly and kid usable, because it makes it a fun thing. Because, again, a lot of moms are the CFOs of the household.
right.
They're the ones that are making the purchasing decisions, and when they're doing that, they're bringing the kids in tow. So, those are some of the things. Those are some of the things that I've heard. I think a lot of how Caper expands and grows in a new store is through word of mouth.
Right.
So, like, what we're looking for when we launch these carts are people posting about them? Are they saying things about them on Facebook and social media? So
Or
those are some of the things that surprised us, is, like, you don't really think about people getting excited and sharing those experiences, but that's what's been happening with this
And I
product.
think women share, a lot, especially, at PTAs, at, school function. If one woman says, hey, I saved, $37 and had fun grocery shopping, I'm pretty sure all those other women are going to check it out. Um, and, it's funny when I think back, and I had three kids, 2, 4 years apart, taking them grocery shopping, not fun. Maybe fun for them, but usually not fun for me. And I would pray for the days where I could like leave them home with a hubby or have them at an activity and go shopping by myself. Um, and I am dying to try this caper cart. And unfortunately, we got to wind up. But I have one last question. what's on the planning board for the cart this year? I mean, are you guys looking either to double the number of retailers and grocers, or are you looking at maybe different size carts? I mean, right now it's a standard cart, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I would say that like we're expecting to have thousands more carts deployed
Okay.
this year. Just the uptake and enthusiasm from our current retailer partners has been
Right.
tremendous. We're bringing the cart on road shows across the country, visiting retailers in their home markets so they can see it and touch it and feel it and experience it. So that's what I'm really excited about. And I think that Instacart has done a great job of making this available to retailers of all sizes. This is not just going to be for the big retailers in major
Right.
cities. We're making sure that any retailer can afford this card and implement it in small towns and across the U.S. So really excited there. I think the other big focus on our planning board is, when we think about what is the key value proposition of the card, it's affordability.
Right.
We want to make each shopping trip more affordable to customers through those digital coupons. So getting them special offers and connecting with brands to do that. And finally, helping customers build their baskets, right? You want those customers to be able to have the best experience they can and ultimately spend more on these caper carts and not spread around their purchases around multiple retailers, but really concentrated on the carts because it's a better experience. So affordability, larger baskets, deploying more carts, those are our biggest priorities for 2025 and beyond.
And I have to say, I think the fact that Instacart has built itself such a strong reputation as a grocery delivery company, I think that's going to play big in consumer adoption. I think when you're coming off a service that's already rewarding and giving you a great customer experience, and then you go on to use their next, tech innovation, I think that's an easy road.
Yeah, and I think it's also an acknowledgement, Judy, that there aren't just online customers or in-store
Right.
customers. We go between each depending on what's going on in our lives, what's going on in the lives of our family. So we kind of move between these two different ways of shopping. And so what we want to do at Instacart is make it easy and seamless, whether you're shopping online because you've got a big event going on that weekend or you want to go in the store and pick up a few items. We want to make it easy for that customer and meet them wherever they're shopping.
Right.
And so it's a real privilege to be able to work in an industry where you feed your community,
Right.
right? Where you can support local business, where you can level the playing field through technology and provide a better way to do things and save people time and money. So it's just we're thrilled to have the opportunity, and Caper is just the next generation of what we've been building at Instacart, and we've brought it here today, and can't wait till it's available in the store near you so you can try it and let us know what you think.
I will be the first one online when it shows up down here in Myrtle Beach. And as somebody who hasn't been going to stores for a few years, it will definitely get me back in the supermarket. So, and Nick, it's so
Wonderful.
great talking with you. Thank you so much for being here. And I really hope we can get you back later in the year to give an update on everything.
I would love to do that, Judy. It's been an absolute pleasure to be here. Thanks so much for having me on the show, and looking forward to staying in touch as we continue to grow.
Definitely. And check out Networld Media Group's YouTube page for other podcasts that we've done, both on retail and food services. And again, thank you so much, Nick.
Thanks, Judy. Take
All
care.
right.